Okay, for the candle, make sure you have your 10 strips. And then if you have a strip that's too thick, you can either take a needle or a knife. And then try and thin it. I should show them how to thin real quick. So you take the thick side, pull straight down, and then you get an extra strip. Or you can take your knife and just scrape it. But don't do that if you're a beginner because you can cut it in half. But anyways, clean your cedar, make it look pretty. You're gonna, yeah. So we're gonna start off with 4 strips. Okay, so you lay 4 strips out. Okay, so picture. Okay, and then you're gonna put the first strip over, under. Okay, picture. Okay, and then we'll go, oh sorry, I won't say picture.
I got it.
Okay. Over, under, so you're gonna weave opposite is the last one, and then try and center them. I mean, it's hard at first because they move a lot. Okay, we're gonna weave the 4 in, and then this one the opposite.
Picture. So tell
Picture.
me one picture.
And then over, under is the opposite as the last one. Picture. Okay. And then we'll do the last one. Over, under, wait, under, over, under, over. Okay. And then you're gonna wanna center them as best you can. So, and tighten them up. So squish them all to the center. And how I center, make sure they're centered, I lift them both up like this. Okay, you can take a picture of that one too. And then make them all even. Okay, picture. I got a funny pieces. Look at Cedar here. Okay. So once you get them as even as you can, continue. It's really thick, so you can split it. It splits into 3 or 4. So if you want to weave more, you can split it up. Okay, fold it in half. And then you're going to take the end and loop it through one of the corners. Okay, picture. Like so. And then you're going to start on your left and go over the first one, under the second one. Picture. Okay, over, under. And you just keep doing that. Over, under. And so on every basket you weave, on the first row, you're gonna do a full twist. And that helps it from going under the cedar, which I'll show you on the next row what it does. Okay, over, and only on the first row. Over, under. Always start on the left. Over, under. Unless you're left-handed, you weave backwards. Well, over, under, whatever easier for you. And if you don't do a full twist, I'm gonna show you what it does. Well, that one, never mind the next row. Take that back. Okay, photo, let me see. That one didn't catch. Sometimes, okay. Over, under, over, under, over, under. So when you get around, let's tie our knot, and we're just gonna clip it and hide it at the bottom. Now we're ready for the to add our other strip. So let's hold it up nice and tight. And so when I add a cedar strip, I always do one side at a time. So you're gonna go over, under, well, over, under, over. And then I lay it in, and it took me years and years and years to learn this easy step. Take your other piece of sinew, or another piece of sinew, fold it in half, and we are gonna weave this at the same time because it'll hold the cedar strip from moving. But I start like in the halfway. And then you're gonna do your little over, under. Okay, and the basket's all not holding in place yet, but after this row, it will. Okay, so when you do the second side, hold it up and go over, under. Okay, I'm not, it's just not holding very good. So you guys will probably have trouble too. No, just kidding. Okay, so weave this in. First row is super hard on every basket you do, but once you get the first cedar row in, it's easy after that. Oh God, I wasn't even telling you to take photos. Okay, shoot. Okay, now over, under, over, and sometimes, let's see, under, over. So one side at a time. Okay, and then we'll do the, oops, geez, see my sinews all tangled. Keep your sinew from untangling often. Okay, so the over, the under, over, under. Always starting on the left. Over, under. Start on the left. Over, under. Okay, last row. Over. So we'll go under, over, under. Okay, now let's weave that over, oops, under, or a half a twist. I tell people the half a twist and the over under is the same thing. Okay, now we could bury and hide this thing. So what you do is you sometimes you could trim it like that and it'll go in easier. You're gonna slide it in here, photo, okay, and slide it under and hide it. Okay, so let's pull it nice and tight, and then when you're done you could snip it, whoops, and hide it, but we could fix that more at the end. So let's weave around at least 2 or 3 times, and then it'll be sturdy. Okay, so over, under, over, under. And then when we're done, we'll squish it all together nice and tight and stuff. Over, under. Sinew's getting tangled again. And I always push my cedar down nice and tight and pull nice and tight. This cedar, you just gotta squish it in or pull this thing. So yeah, try and tight. Wanna weave over, under. Oops, my cedar's cracking. And this one you wanna keep it pulled really tight around the basket. And cedar shrinks, so if you think it's loose, it'll shrink a little bit when it dries. And oh, I forgot to tell you, when you guys got your cedar strips, make sure they're all same width. And because if it's too thick, the candle will be too big. They should all be a 1/4 inch. Okay, over, under. I should have told them at the beginning. Over, under. And it's always hard the first couple rows, but once you put your piece of cedar in, it'll have shape. Over, and go around 2 or 3 times, and then we'll add a cedar strip. So I'm gonna go around twice for the sample. but try and go 3 times if you can, because it's better practice. Okay, you see it's not staying in there. Okay, so I went around twice, so I'm gonna, oh, we should just go 3 times, you guys. It's not holding. And you could actually not even put the candle in yet until you get these first color wove. Okay, almost, you guys. Oh my god, it's taking forever. Okay, so go at least 3 times, everybody, but I'm gonna go twice and tie your knot in the back. Okay, so let's tie. Okay, got it. I tie 3 knots. And then we'll hide this in there, like so. Like the last one, just hide it. Okay. There. My first strip looks a little loose. I'll have to tighten that up at the end. Like, alright guys, my cedar is super loose here, hold on. So just tighten it by pulling it, and then we'll pull these up nice and tight. And you could do that at the end too, tighten and make them straight. Okay, now we could add the other piece of sinew. I mean cedar and sinew. Hold on, there's a row. Usually after I weave a row, I always go and push everything down. Push the knot in the back. Okay, let's add the other piece. Okay, so let's bend our sinew in half. And I'm gonna start on a different side this time. You never wanna start on the same side or the same place. Okay.
How long is that one? Is that 12 feet?
Oh, that ain't 8
12
inches.
inches. Is that also 12 inches?
Oh, it's 8 inch. Okay, so take your other 8 inch strip and do the over, under, over, under. Okay, push it down. And then we'll weave your cedar, fold it in half, stick it in. I never stick it at the end, I go down a couple and then start. That gives you room to bury it at the end. Okay, so weave another piece of sinew a couple times, over, under, over, under. Okay, so over, under, over, under. You can actually do as much as you want. That. See how it's holding in place now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So weave 2 or 3 times with your sinew. Over, under, over, under. Oh, my hands are gonna be so sore. Okay, I'm gonna take a picture of that. I'm gonna use this little basket. Why do I gotta have trouble on my sample? You know what I mean? Okay. Oh, okay. So at the end, so I got over, under, and then right here, you are gonna bury it. I'm gonna get a picture of that. Okay. And I'll just snip everything at the end, because if you leave this out, you can keep tightening with it. So leave it just like that. Okay. So weave around a couple times, 2 or 3 times. Okay, sorry, let me start. Okay, so I'm around twice, so I'm gonna tie a knot again. Let's see. So I just hide it behind that. I just learned this, how to tie the knots behind, isn't that cool? You actually just go like this and pull it, oops. well, and then it ties the knot behind you. Okay, so let's hide this under there too. Shove it in there. Put your candle back. Oops. Okay, last row. Wrap it. See how I'm overlapping? Vicky, take a picture. So, over, under. Yeah. Oh, this. Okay, fold senior in half. Let's get this last row done. And then that is your candle. So over, under, and I just pulled the cedar back, flopping it. Pull it back. Every other one. Yay. Now I'm gonna weave for a minute so it doesn't come out. Over, under, over, under. Go till my sinew's out. And that's 3 times. About 3 times. Because I don't like to waste anything. And you could use raffia. You can even use really small ribbons. Bear grass you could use for the side weaving sometimes. This one, I'm just gonna go over once, and I'm just gonna put it so you can't see it. Oh. Okay. So go around 2 or 3 times and tie it off. Okay. Let's see. So I'm just going to show them. When you're done, okay, I'll go around a couple more times. We're just going to trim it really pretty because keep coming back and I will teach you guys how to do a rim, but not this cut. So I kind of got my scissors above the candle. And we're not going to do the rim on this one because it's going to stay in the candle. But on a basket, you would have to do a rim so it doesn't come apart. But this one doesn't have a rim. So it'll look like that.